Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Danvat Pranam. Happy Amalaki Ekadasi to all of you. Hari Bol to all the devotees who chanted this morning. Ramchandra Prabhu, Vishwanath Prabhu, Pavan Prabhu, Shriya Mataji, Harti Mataji. Hari Bol. Okay, we'll start with our Mangalacharan prayers and then sing our Vaishnava bhajan and then read Prabhupada Lilamrit. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Okay, we are singing Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Anybody would like to sing today? Aarti Mataji, you want to try?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
I want
Krishna.
to, but I'm just scared of messing with the tune.
It's okay, that's okay. The tune is not important.
Okay,
Just,
I can try, Prabhuji. If something
yes,
happened, then please catch on. Okay.
yes.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Tum Bina Kai Doyalu Jagat Samsare पतित पावन हेतु तव अवतारा पतित प्रभु नाई पाव्यारा हा प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी कृपा पालोकाना করো আমি বড় দুঃখী দয়া করো সীতাপতি অদ্বৈত গোসাই তব কৃপা পালে পাই চৈতন্য নিতাই ঘোর প্রেম মায়া তনু पंडित गदाधर श्रीनिवास हरिदास दयार सागर हा स्वरूप सनातन रूप रघुनाथा बट जुग श्री जीवा हा प्रभु लोकनाथा दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवासा रामचंद्र संगे संगा मागे नरोत्तम दासा श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे तुम बिन कोई दयालु जगत संसारे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय.
Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Aarti Mataji ki jai. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Very beautiful. Okay, any other devotee would like to read the translation?
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes, Shri Mataji, please.
My dear Lord Chaitanya, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned fallen souls, but I assure you that you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you always appear very happy, I have come to you because I am the most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance over me, then I may also become happy. My dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be merciful to me. It's if you are kind to me, naturally Lord Chaitanya Nityananda will also be kind to me. Gaura's love embodiment is shown by Gadadhar Pandit, Srinivas Pandit, and Haridas Thakur are the ocean of mercy. O Swarup Damodar, personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya, O six Goswamis of O Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. O Lokanath Goswami, my beloved spiritual master. Narottam Das also prays for your mercy. O Srinivas Acharya, successor to the six Goswamis, please be merciful to me. Narottam Das always desires the company of Ramachandra Chakravarti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shri Mataji. Anything you want to share? Any reflections from this bhajan?
Yes, Prabhu. I think the second point where it says, Narottam Das, that I am the most um, fallen soul, and therefore my claim is first. So I think we see, that sometimes there is a devotee who is always chanting and doing everything, and there is another who is a non-devotee and who is so fallen, and not doing anything. But Krishna's mercy or Chaitanya Prabhu's mercy comes on the person who is actually fallen and not who is chanting. So you've seen like so many times. I think I don't remember the stories, but I, I, and I vaguely remember that I don't remember the name, but who was actually writing the some scripture, and then the other one was very fallen, and I think Krishna's mercy was on the other person rather than the one who was actually writing it. So then he prays that, why, Krishna, why, I'm always engaging in your devotional service, and why you haven't shown mercy on me but the other person. And I think it says that the most fallen gets the mercy of the Lord first, and that's why it's so beautiful that the more you are fallen, actually Krishna shows your mercy on you. So um yeah, Narottam Das says very beautifully here, and really like that point.
Very cool. Yeah. Yes, that's developing the mood of humility, that no matter how much devotional service we may have done, are doing, or will do, doesn't matter. We should always remain humble and think that we are the most fallen, most lowest of the lowest. So that's one thing with great souls is they always see good qualities in others around them, right? So when you see good in others, you will see, oh, that I am the most fallen. Everybody else has some good qualities, but I have none. Right? So yeah, like Mahaprabhu's mercy on Dukhi. She used to bring the water, but she used to stand at the back. His grace fell on her, and he made her Sukhi. Right? So yeah, like that. There are many, many stories in the scriptures who are Dukhi, but the Lord makes them Sukhi with bhakti. Yes, and today is the day of bhakti. It's the day of Ekadasi. So we all can, of course, pray to all the.
Shreya Mataji, yeah, Shreya Mata, Hare Krishna. Shreya Mataji, very well said. The most fallen you are, the more he bestows his mercy. And if you think that you are something or somebody, then he humbles you at the same time as well. So thank you for this wonderful reflection today.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Minu Mataji. Okay, yes, and this mercy comes through the disciplic succession. So the mercy comes through these acharyas, the blessings of these acharyas, and blessings of Vaishnavas around us. So on this day of Ekadashi, as we are remembering these acharyas, let's quickly, before we start reading Prabhupada Leela, I just came across this video, short video from yesterday. We were reading about Prabhupada in Vrindavan. He was in Radha Damodar temple and planning his planning the ground laying ceremony for Krishna Balaram temple, right? So this is a clip I found. This is the channel of Radha Damodar Mandir in Vrindavan. So they have this rare video of Srila Prabhupada in Radha Damodar temple. So let's quickly see this.
जय जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे जय जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे गोस्वामीर प्राण धन हे गोस्वामीर प्राण धन हे जय जय राधा गोविंद गोविंद राधे राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे रूप गोस्वामीर प्राण धन हे रूप गोस्वामीर प्राण धन हे जय जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन
to the holy Dham of Sri Braj.
Like he's so healthy and exuberant. He's back home. This is where he hatched out the whole Hare Krishna movement. This is where Krishna empowered him to come west. And little Saraswati, who's one of his favorites, she went around, followed him wherever he went. Sometimes he would grab her hand and walk with her. If Saraswati didn't come to his room every morning around 8 o'clock, he would sometimes ask, "And where is Saraswati?" He expected to see her every morning. And quite often he would play some trick on her when she came, either to make her laugh or cry. But he would always make up and give her some nice, sweet. Here he's showing us the sights and showing us around the samadhis of great Vaishnavas behind Radha Damodar temple, explaining a little bit about who is buried where. Those days it was all run down and practically abandoned. Well, most of Vrindavan was practically run down and abandoned. We used to think that Raman Reti was far out of town. Prabhupada revived the whole spiritual life of India, starting with Vrindavan, now flourishing, spiritualized city because of Prabhupada. Of course, Rupa Goswami's samadhi there, Prabhupada's favorite place. He used to say that Rupa Goswami inspired him to go to the West and spread Krishna consciousness, as he would sit in his room and gaze out on his samadhi year after year and chant and read, translate.
When we arrived in Vrindavan, I remember walking into Srila Prabhupada's room and paying my obeisances and saying, "Srila Prabhupada, what should we do now?" And he looked down at me and he said, "Just wander." So that's exactly what I did. I just went out into the Vrindavan village, and everything I'd read about in Nectar of Devotion and Krishna book, I was thinking of those things. And I wanted to take rest under a Kalpavriksha tree.
Hey, Hare Krishna. Wonderful to have darshan of all the acharyas as we were reading from the prayer there. Yes, wonderful. Nice. All the samadhis of many Vaishnava saints are there in the Radha Damodar temple. And as we heard, yes, Srila Prabhupada, that's where his journey, that's where he laid the foundation for the Hare Krishna movement. And he used to call the Radha Damodar temple Rupa Goswami Samadhi, especially as the hub or the center of the spiritual world. Right? And that's where he got inspiration from Sri Rupa Goswami to go out west after he had completed his first 3 volumes of the first canto. And he said now he had enough ammunition to go west. So that's what we see. And then he established all these temples in the west. But then, right now we are reading as he has come back to India. And like Prabhupada used to say, Vrindavan is my home, Mayapur is my place of worship, and Bombay is my office. So those are the 3 cities he's developing. And he wants to have beautiful temples for the lordships in each of the cities. Yesterday, we saw he had already established the Anantashesh corner ground laying ceremony in Mayapur. And he was reflecting on Krishna Balaram temple, and he was absorbed in Bombay, Shri Radha Ras Bihari's temple. And now, after that, he has come to London to perform Rath Yatra. So let's continue from here. So Srila Prabhupada preached every day to new people, some leaders, some common people, and encouraged everyone to chant Hare Krishna. Next was installation of Radha Krishna deities at Paris, Radha Paris Ishwar. Srila Prabhupada was back in London and answering queries by writing letters to devotees around the world. He said, distribution of his books is the real preaching. Each of Srila Prabhupada's letters was as effective as his personal visit. Giriraj Maharaj asked Srila Prabhupada to come to Bombay to settle the Juhu land with Mrs. N, who was continuing to create problems even after the passing away of Mr. N. Srila Prabhupada decided after a week, after Janmashtami, Srila Prabhupada would come to Bombay. Mrs. N had a change of heart just after a few minutes of discussion with Srila Prabhupada, and she started to cry and was willing to do whatever Srila Prabhupada wanted. Srila Prabhupada agreed on the terms and conditions, and Srila Prabhupada said he would take care of Mrs. N's needs in spite of her creating so many issues. Just with a change of her heart, Srila Prabhupada was willing to forget all the past and was compassionate to Mrs. N. Titikshava Karunika Sadhva Sadhu Bhushanaha. The final amount of 12 lakhs was paid, and Srila Prabhupada and Mrs. N signed the deal, and the Hare Krishna land was finally with ISKCON now. With Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada arranged a wonderful feast prasadam for all to celebrate this occasion. Srila Prabhupada said that the gorgeous temple of Shri Radha Rasa Vihari would now manifest. And again, Srila Prabhupada depicted by his personal example that if one strictly practices Bhakti Yoga, one is not touched by the modes of nature, Maya. Srila Prabhupada installed Radha Krishna deities at Paris, named them Radha Paris Ishwar. Srila Prabhupada personally performed Aarti to the deities, Shri Radha Paris Ishwar in Paris. I remember when we were first reading, he said this is also Paris, because Prabhupada said these are all the devotees in France, Paris are like Paris. So like Krishna keeps all his gopis as Paris. So these are all Radha Paris Ishwar. Okay, beginning the temple of Krishna Balaram, chapter 43. In April 1972, Surabhi Prabhu drew the design of the proposed Krishna Balaram temple based on the Radha Govinda Mandir that Srila Prabhupada liked, with its nice open courtyard and front steps leading to the deity darshan area. Srila Prabhupada said that this would be the grandest temple in Vrindavan, and also different because most temples were Radha Krishna temples in Vrindavan, and moreover the temple was to be constructed at Ramanreti, the place where Krishna and Balaram performed youthful sports at Ramanreti. Srila Prabhupada also mentioned that Balaram is the original spiritual master, who was the reservoir of spiritual strength, Bala. Srila Prabhupada wanted the temple to be completed by Janmashtami of 1973 and then extended to Janmashtami 1974, and personally visited in February 1974 within 2 weeks of notice that Srila Prabhupada was coming. Surabhi Prabhu and Gurudas Prabhu engaged laborers, and working day and night, they constructed the quarters where Srila Prabhupada was to stay. Srila Prabhupada was happy. He said, with this earnestness and effort, the temple construction would be complete by Janmashtami that year in 1974. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the morning walk, India's spiritual culture and Western world's material advancement have to be combined and utilized in Krishna consciousness. In March of 1974, Srila Prabhupada went to Mayapur and got a wonderful reception of many international and local devotees, walking by the side of the car until he reached the Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir with freshly painted walls and nice chandeliers. Srila Prabhupada offered obeisances to the resplendent forms of Sri Sri Radha Madhav deities and started to lecture and started that today Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's prediction had come true that the whole world would come to Mayapur and practice Krishna consciousness. His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and His Holiness Achyutananda Swami took devotees to parikrama in Mayapur and then they went to Vrindavan. Those who understood that Navadvip was non-different from Vrindavan could really engage in the service of the son of Sri Nanda Maharaj. At Srila Prabhupada's request, the GBC members had all come to Mayapur and met for the first time in Srila Prabhupada's presence, and Srila Prabhupada told them how to discuss in GBC. One person proposed a point, and they all discuss and pass a resolution, and should be documented in the minutes. After Gaura Purnima, Srila Prabhupada went to Vrindavan. He preached every day and told about how it is important to preach about Lord Krishna. Be careful in sadhana, avoid the sahajiyas, and be established in the preaching mission. To be offensive in the Dham could have bad repercussions. Better visit Vrindavan for 3 days, take association of devotees, and go back the fourth day and preach Krishna consciousness in our respective places. Next, Srila Prabhupada went to Bombay when Giriraj Maharaj told that the police did not give no objection certificate for construction as they found the bhajan as nuisance. Srila Prabhupada was very angry with the term used and immediately went to Bombay to have this resolved. Srila Prabhupada took breakfast of fruits, nuts, had his massage at around 11 when he would give instructions to disciples. Then, after lunch, would rest for 1 or 2 hours and then would have coconut water or sugarcane juice, and then in night would sleep at 10 p.m. and wake up at 1 a.m. and start with his transcendental purports to Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Srila Prabhupada went to Hyderabad for 3 day Pandal program, then to Tirumala Tirupati, had darshan of Balaji, and sang Govinda Madipurusham Tamaham Pajami. Srila Prabhupada was hands-on in terms of accounting and finances of Mayapur, Vrindavan, and Bombay temples, and was expert in guiding his disciples, and said that it was the duty of the spiritual master to find faults in disciples. That is the spiritual master's mercy. Gurudas Prabhu confirmed that the temple construction would be complete by Janmashtami and there would be installation of the deities of Krishna Balaram, Sri Sri Radha Shyam Sundar and Gauranitai deities. And Srila Prabhupada said he would be back for the temple opening and deities installation. Next, Srila Prabhupada went to Bombay when Giriraj Maharaj told that the police... Okay, I think we read this. This is... Yeah, so let's repeat. Okay. So, chapter 44, Let There Be a Temple. Srila Prabhupada went to Rome and Geneva, where there were immense opportunities to preach. Srila Prabhupada met the Pope and also invited to speak at the WHO of the United Nations. Srila Prabhupada appointed Karandara Prabhu, who had left the movement due to unable to follow regulative principles, but had come back to surrender to Srila Prabhupada as the GBC Commissioner for India, formally by way of a letter sent by his secretary to all the leaders of the temples of Bombay, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Delhi, Calcutta, and Hyderabad. In Paris, on June 8th, Srila Prabhupada preached on the power of the holy name and then went to Geneva. Srila Prabhupada said his heart was engladdened when he hears mridanga sound in a German village, and then to Australia, Los Angeles, Dallas, and New Vrindavan before returning to Vrindavan for the deity installation. Melbourne Rath Yatra was successful, and Srila Prabhupada was dancing and chanting in the processing and gave a lecture in the end. And in spite of turmoil and shouting by immature audience, Srila Prabhupada lectured and left. He was disgusted at the behavior of the open crowd and decided that he would only give class to a closed audience who were willing to hear. Next was Chicago Rath Yatra, and after that was Rath Yatra at the Los Angeles. 15,000 attended the Rath Yatra. Then it was New Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada asked all his disciples, leaders, sannyasis to come to Vrindavan for Janmashtami to attend the grand opening of the Krishna Balaram Mandir and also discuss about devotional service and preaching across the world. Karandara Prabhu couldn't take the stress and resigned as GBC for India. Srila Prabhupada returned to Vrindavan on August 4th, 1974 and found that everything was not yet ready and a lot of rubble lying around while his global disciples had arrived. Srila Prabhupada was furious. The work was not complete. The temple opening cannot happen during Janmashtami as planned. Srila Prabhupada fell ill and Harikesha Prabhu did Harinam Kirtan 24 hours near Srila Prabhupada, and he said that was what was keeping him alive. He said, since 80% of his senior disciples in Vrindavan were also not waking up at 4 a.m. and following the rules and regulations, Srila Prabhupada fell ill. Disciples felt remorseful and became attentive to rules and regulations. Temples around the world were informed to perform 24-hour Sankirtan to pray to Lord Krishna, Lord Nrsimhadev, that our master has not finished his work. Please protect him. The governor of UP had come to meet Srila Prabhupada, and in spite of 104-degree fever, Srila Prabhupada met him and gave lecture and had prasadam, although not being able to even get up. He shook hands and stood for 20 minutes and spoke. He thought a good rapport with the governor would help to get requisite approvals for the Krishna Balaram Mandir. When the governor left, Srila Prabhupada had 105-degree fever, and servant had to carry Srila Prabhupada back to the room. In 2 weeks, Srila Prabhupada felt better and resumed his activities of translating Chaitanya Charitamrita early hours in the morning, and then left for Bombay, where he helped to get the no objection certificate so that the Radha Rasbihari temple construction could be started. By mid-Jan 1975, Prabhupada Bombay temple no objection certificate was obtained, and Srila Prabhupada wanted to conduct a festival to begin construction of the temple. Srila Prabhupada requested all to work hard to see the temple manifest as soon as possible. Feb and March of 1975, Srila Prabhupada toured to Tokyo, Hawaii, and Los Angeles, Mexico City, Caracas, Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, New York, London, Tehran, all in a month's time. The UP governor agreed to attend the Vrindavan temple opening proposed during Ramanavami. Srila Prabhupada invited all to come to Mayapur for Gaur Purnima and then to Vrindavan for the temple opening during Ramanavami. March 23rd, Srila Prabhupada reached Calcutta and onward to Mayapur for Gaur Purnima festival, giving classes on Chaitanya Charitamrita, supervised the annual meeting of his GBC, and personally approved or modified their decisions. By insisting on the devotees' participation, Srila Prabhupada was solidifying the spiritual basis of ISKCON by having ISKCON center temples in the dhams. On April 16th, when Srila Prabhupada reached Vrindavan, he was pleasantly surprised to see 3 tall domes rising over the temple. Each dome had a copper kalash and topped with Sudarshan Chakra, who is non-different than Krishna himself. Srila Prabhupada said that the domes have come out very nice. Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj praised Surabhi Prabhu for the excellent work, and Srila Prabhupada said it was his duty to criticize his disciple to improve him. Surabhi Prabhu had not slept for last few months to bring up this temple ready for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said that this is heaven on earth and thought this surpasses all the temples in India. Srila Prabhupada looked at the tamal tree in the courtyard. There were only 3 places where tamal tree was there. One was at Krishna Balram Mandir, one at Seva Kunj, and the other at Radha Damodar Mandir. The tamal tree was growing luxuriantly, meant that the devotees were performing genuine bhakti. Thus, at Ramanreti, where there was no temple, a pure devotee of the Lord desired a temple and seva, and the temple was now manifest. Such is the power of the desire of a pure devotee. Hare Krishna. Tamal tree was growing luxuriantly, meant that the devotees were performing genuine bhakti. Thus, at Ramanreti, where there was no temple, a pure devotee of the Lord desired a temple and seva, and the temple was now manifest. Such is the power of the desire of a pure devotee. They are desired trees. Very bold. Yes, so this is a beautiful tree. Today it stands, very nicely in the courtyard and giving shade, not just physical shade, but even spiritual shade to all the devotees who go to the Krishna Balram temple to take darshan of the deities of Srila Prabhupada Samadhi and everything, the holy dust of Vrindavan. Yeah, so these are the 3 domes that, looking at them, Prabhupada was feeling very proud and very happy. Yeah, wonderful. Again, we see how much Prabhupada toiled in just, of course, this is a period of mid-1970s. So he was almost close to 80 years of age at that time, 79, and still traveling around the world. In 1 month he traveled. It was hard for me to even read all those cities in one breath. And he had traveled to all those cities in in 1 month. It is just amazing what a pure devotee of the Lord can do, which is impossible for anybody else, even though you may have all the luxury and everything. Still, even if you ask the politicians today to go on that kind of a tour, I'm sure they will not be able to do. Just flying in Air Force One or flying in whatever comfort they have. Still, Prabhupada was able to do. Prabhupada was, like we said, he was jet age Parivajikacharya. In the jet age, he was using the jet, traveling at the speed of light, because he had the power of the holy name, JAPA, as we said, jet age Parivajika Acharya, also is JAPA Japa. And Sankirtan. So he had the power of the holy name, and holy name is not different than the Lord. So the Lord was always on his tongue, in his heart, in his ears, in every atom of his body. So that's why what he did, only he could do, and nobody else has been able to do thus far and will never be able to do. So Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Amalaki Ekadashi ki Jai, all the holy dhams and ISKCON temples in the holy dhams ki Jai. So yes, the three main temples, Vrindavan, Mayapur and Bombay. Again and again, Prabhupada was wanting to make sure, like he said yesterday, I've given you the kingdom of God. Now you nicely build it and enjoy. So he has given us practically the kingdom of God by teaching us by his personal achar how to follow the regulative principles. Like he said, he fell sick, and we don't want Prabhupada and acharyas to fall sick by our negligence, by our not following the instructions, not following the regulative principles, not following the minimum prescribed rounds, which is 16 rounds of chanting the Maha Mantra. Some of us have also been prescribed 25 rounds on Ekadashi, on special days, festival days, tithis of our acharyas. We can always chant a little more. And that is, as Prem Vilas Prabhu was mentioning here, one of Prabhupada's disciples told him that what you do, the 16 rounds, that is Vaidhi Bhakti, right? And then whatever you do after that becomes Raganuga Bhakti, right? So that should come naturally from our heart, whatever we are inspired to do, kind of our outpouring of love for our spiritual master, for our acharyas. We can chant extra, especially on the Ekadashi days, which comes only 2 times in a month. So that will be our outpour of love, from our heart. So that is the message, and we can take any other thoughts, reflections today on this wonderful day of Ekadashi. Does anybody like to say anything, share anything? Any words of inspiration for all of us? Vishaka Mataji, Hare Krishna. Is it Vishaka Mataji from Kentucky? So there's one Vishaka Mataji. You're on mute if you're speaking, or if you're busy. I don't know. Okay, very busy. All right. If no other comments, then we will pause here for today. Thank you all for your kind association on this auspicious Tithi of Ekadashi. Hope everybody has a wonderful day. Yes, Pawan Prabhuji, anything you want to say? You're on mute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for taking class.
Not
So
a
we
class, this is
find
all our group.
association.
Not a class, this is just a group reading. We all are sharing. I'm just sharing what I have, what I feel inspired to speak or to say based on my whatever tiny drop of realization. But all of us are here for each other, so I would love to hear from everybody, about your practice of Krishna consciousness, your spiritual journey, your sadhana, so that we can all take inspiration from each other. Because as Prabhupada says, Ekaki Amara Nahi Paya Bala Harinama Sankirtane. None of us can find strength by doing this alone. Only in the association of devotees we can get strength from each other. So thank you all for joining and associating with each other and keeping all of us inspired to walk on this path. So that Prabhupada is pleased when we wake up in the morning and chant. Thank you. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल
Thank you, Prabhuji. Have a great day, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare
हरि
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.